It is indeed good to be with you tonight as the Bruins have, you guys made it back home after a little lengthy road trip going to Salt Lake City and then to McCracken County, Kentucky, which is outside of Paducah. But it's good to be back on home soil. It's good to be with you guys. I want to thank, first of all, you guys for covering for me the last couple of weeks, Chris Ambler and Brooksy and the rest of the guys. And I have something important coming up in a couple of days, so we had some planning to work on.
All right.
But it's good to be here with you, and it's good to be, I know it's good to be back in Central Arkansas. Although the Bruins are not at home tonight, they're back in Little Rock, and they open conference play here at Little Rock Fair. And this one tonight figures to be. Now, I know things can go kind of awry every once in a while.
Right.
But let's put it this way. If the War Eagles can pull off the upset over the Bruins, it would probably send shockwaves through the state.
It certainly would, Jay. I tell you, I really feel sorry for the War Eagles. They hadn't even scored a touchdown this year in 3 ball games. So if they were to defeat the Bruins tonight, it would be a miracle. I do believe.
You're talking about a fair War Eagle team that has fallen on hard times. You know, I can remember back, and you can too, when this was a once proud program.
Really? Yeah, it was.
People like Cedric Cobb's coming through here that had one of the best teams in the state. But like a lot of the teams around Pulaski County, Little Rock School District, they've fallen on some hard times. I know they're trying to rebuild. I was looking at the roster, and they've got a bunch of younger players tonight. They have one quarterback is a freshman, the other is a sophomore. They're just low on numbers.
Yeah, they are.
But they're low on numbers, and it's going to be tough tonight against this Bruin team. Fair has lost so far to Hall, Morrilton, and Cabot by a combined score of 129-0 so far this season. 0-3. They've won 3 games in the past 6 years. And Coach Roosevelt Turner's trying to pull this team together. So far, he's 1-19 at Fair. It's been a tough chore. They went 0-10 last year. And like you said, you have to start with smaller goals. Getting on the scoreboard tonight for Fair would be a goal.
Yeah, I guess it starts with the first down. I don't know how the statistics are, but anyway, you start small steps and work up to the larger ones, and they'll get a victory one of these games.
It'll come around sooner or later. I noticed last year, I think when they came to Pulaski Academy, they had 22 players. And this year, I think I counted 27. So they've got a few more bodies out there.
Right.
But it'll be a tough chore. The Bruins want to get things going. This is the opener in conference play. You don't want to have any kind of stumble, and you want to look good. I mean, you go to Salt Lake City, you get a loss there, and I talked to you guys about that. That was a big team and a fast team out of Salt Lake City.
They really were, yeah.
With a really strong defense, and they gave a really strong defensive effort. But then the Bruins rebound and go to McCracken County in Kentucky last week and get a win. Now they get to come back home and start conference play. Now we've got this game tonight here at Fair. Next week the Bruins will return home against BB, against the Badgers. So I'm sure the fans will be looking forward to getting them back home. I know the kids will be looking forward to getting back home.
Yeah,
too.
3 weeks away from home playing games is, of course, you can't really consider this a away game, but I mean we're here in Little Rock, but still, you like to play in your own home stadium.
Yeah, you're not in your facilities.
No. And I'm sure the PA got on the bus and had their uniforms on and just drove across town to get over here. So it's a little bit different situation when you travel somewhere and you use their locker facilities and everything.
I got to tell you, the weather's feeling a little bit better right now. When we got here, the sun was shining. I was thinking the other day, it normally takes 3 or 4 weeks before you get a little crispness in the air, a little coolness in the air. It's not here tonight, I'll tell you that. But it is kind of cooling off a little since the sun's going down. But this press box is, we'll just say it's not air conditioned.
No, it's not air conditioned. And praise Chris Ambler for bringing
some fans.
Oh, good. We'd be sweating up a storm if it wasn't for that right now.
That's exactly right. And, of course, I'd like to say to Vicki, my wonderful bride-to-be in 2 days, honey, you probably made the right choice by staying at home and listening to the ball game because this press box is a little steamy up here.
I think she did, Jay. She sure did.
Well, we're going to take a break. We'll talk more about this game here in just a minute. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 The Answer. Yeah, I'd like to say a couple of thanks here. Rick David for stepping in and doing a great job the past couple of weeks and helping me out and allowing me to stay here in town and take care of some business. And another special lady in my life, my mother, who fell Wednesday and broke her hip. She's in the hospital and doing well. That's the good news. Bad news is, looks like she's going to miss the wedding on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But the good news is, the most important news is that she's getting well. She's getting better. So that's the good news. So
bless her heart, Jay. I feel for you there.
well, the officials are on the field. The Bruins have been on the field. They're huddled in the end zone, the south end zone to our right. We're still about 6 minutes away from kickoff or so. We get here early, and the War Eagles are on the field in the sunshine out there today. The Bruins didn't get here, of course, till a little bit later.
Right.
They never get here early.
No,
but,
they're always kind of late, aren't they?
Well, tell us about this road trip, Brooks. What did you find out about this Bruins team while you were on the road for a couple of weeks?
Well, I'll tell you what. The first game, when Salt Lake City East came out on the field and did the warm up and everything, I said, "Uh-oh, the Bruins are in for a fight tonight."
Yeah.
And it was a good game for East and a disappointing game for the Bruins. But we just got beat by 2 touchdowns. But that team was an excellent team. They were well coached, physical, and fast, and didn't pull any tricks or anything. They just handed the ball off, and if you could stop them, all well and good. But if you couldn't, they had a touchdown.
Yeah.
One time we had a 95-yard touchdown from scrimmage there on us, and that didn't sit well good with Coach Woods, I know. And then last week, McCracken County, they also looked like they were a good team. They've got that school was just 4 years old, and I think they've got a 2,100 student enrollment and
Wow.
nice facilities and everything, a real outstanding place. And but the Bruins, it was just passing team against passing team,
Right.
and the Bruins came out and really took it to them, and I think they were just shell shocked. They didn't really know what was up, and so the Bruins went on to an easy victory there.
Well, you can say one thing when it comes to Coach Kelly, Coach Kevin Kelly, he will not dodge the bullet. He wants to play some of the best around the country.
He does.
We've taken trips with him to Los Angeles, taken trips to Florida, of course, Dallas, and now Salt Lake City, Kentucky. He wants to seek out teams, and he wants to show he likes taking these kids on trips, too. He says there's more to it than just playing football.
Right.
You've got to go out and experience some things, and they got a chance to experience some things. So that's the good thing. We're going to have the national anthems. We're going to send it back to Steve, our good buddy back at the studio. Be back with kickoff after this. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer. Who was that? Josh did that?
Josh did that.
Back at JA Fair, and I think our good buddy Josh Carroll down here just sang the national anthem.
Yeah,
they couldn't get it to work up here in the press box somehow or another, and somebody had to do something. By golly, he stepped right up, got the microphone.
He stepped up to the plate and hit a home
sang
run.
the national anthem, yeah. And they've also borrowed our public address announcer, Chris Ambler, who's going to be doing the public address announcing here in the press box tonight, even though we're not home.
Well, we're just multi-talented, Jay.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
No,
you show up at the ballpark and all kinds of things happen.
This is a live show, and you got to roll with it.
We got about a minute or so before kickoff, and the captains are getting prepared to come to the middle of the field for fair. Kalik Brazel, I can remember him. He's a junior, 5'6", 140. He's a running back. And he'll be representing the JA Fair War Eagles at midfield. He walks toward the midfield stripe. Bruins will send 3 captains out.
Will Osmond, Corey McMillan, and number 41.
Looks like Mark Odom.
Mark Odom,
right. Senior linebacker. They'll meet at midfield with the officials, and we'll tell you who's going to get the football first. Well, we know if the Bruins win the toss, who's going to get the football first. They always take the football first. But the Bruin cheerleaders off to a right. They have a breakthrough set up for the team to run through. Off to their left, a breakthrough for the War Eagles of JA Fair. You know, you have to, Brooks, we were talking about earlier about Fair. They've won 3 games in 6 years. They're 1-19 under this coach, 0-10 last year. They're 0-3 this year. You know, you have to start from scratch.
Yeah, and they are starting from scratch.
I mean, you have to, I'm sure they would love to come out here and upset the Bruins tonight. Yeah. We see that every week, teams that would love to go out and upset the Bruins. But let's see here. We've got the toss. Fair has won the toss, and they're going to defer until the second half. And the Bruins are going to take the football first. I don't know that I'd have done that or not, because by the second half it may not matter who has the football.
I really don't.
I think I maybe would have taken the football first, but we'll see. Yeah. We never know. You know, turnovers happen and everything else. And they deferred to the second half. So the Bruins get prepared to come onto the field. Good crowd still filing in on the far side for the Bruins. On the near side, a modest crowd, as you would expect. Yeah. In case you hear something humming in the background, we had to set up some fans up here because it's a lot better now than what it was an hour and a half ago.
That sun going down, it certainly helps out a lot. Sure.
War Eagles come onto the field. About 25 players or so that come out onto the field. Waiting, and here come the Bruins on the far side. Bruin Brigade here.
Yeah, I see them across the way there.
I like the way Chris Ambler's trying to remain neutral tonight. That's got to be tough for him. I got to tell you what was tough. For 12 years, I never missed a PA game. Up until the last couple of weeks. And I got to tell you, it was awfully tough listening to it on the radio rather than being there in person. You guys did a great job, but it was just tough not being there.
Well, I enjoyed when they called you from Salt Lake City, your intake or input into the halftime there that.
Well, I was nervous. I can
Yeah,
tell you, I was walking the floors.
I bet you were.
Yeah. Well, the Bruins are going to line up to our left, which is the north side of the field. War Eagles will be kicking from our right to our left. They're dressed in their all dark blue jerseys, white numbers, dark blue helmets. The Bruins dressed in their white jerseys with the gold helmets and gold pants.
I guess the coaches have heard us complain enough about.
We can see these numbers, can't we?
We can see these numbers.
These are dark blue numbers on those white jerseys.
Yeah.
With the gold helmets, gold pants.
Did
they wear their, well, I guess they wore white on the road the last two games.
They did, sure did.
I'm still looking forward to that dark gray. That
I like that dark gray and blue pants and the blue helmet.
Here we go. Fair will kick it away from the 40, from our right to our left. And conference season is now underway. It's a deep kick. Watkins goes back, takes it in the end zone. He can't run it out, though. High school rules, once that ball goes back there, you can't run it out. It went about 2 yards deep. He was wanting to run it out, but the officials whistled it dead. Bruins will take over at their 20, moving from our left to our right. Lane Hatcher, the quarterback, junior quarterback. On first down, he starts under center. He's going to hand it off to a running back running left. That was a little bit of a trick play, almost like a single wing. He just turned around and put it in the belly
of the guard.
I guess it was, that was Ford Aguirre.
54 carries on the play.
I think.
Or who was it there, Brooks?
They handed off to the guard, and he just kind of turned around. It was a trick play, and they smelled that out.
Yeah, loss of 5. It'll be 2nd and 15. Now Hatcher to throw on 2nd and 15. Lays it out. It's going to be caught at the 20, 25, the 30, the 35, and out of bounds at the 38. That time he went to Ray Jackson.
Pass is complete to number 18, Ray Jackson.
That's a first down across the 35 to the 38-yard line.
After making his way to the...
You never know what Coach Kelly's going to...
No, it seems like he starts every ball game, first play of the game, some kind of trick play. And,
well, he says they enjoy practicing once a week.
Right.
Throw a different trick. Here's Watkins running left, misses or gets a block. He's free at the 45, the 50, the 45, down to the 40, and down to the 36-yard line of Fair. Got a good block because he sprung him to the left side. Darian Richard finally made the tackle over there. But a big gainer. And the Bruins have a first down at the War Eagle 36.
Yeah, that was a nice game there by Jaron.
He's still in there to the left of Hatcher. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Hatcher pumps, now looks to throw. Throws deep, has a man there, but overthrows him at the goal line. Time he was looking for Trey Johnson.
Trey Johnson is incomplete, 2nd and 10.
That's too much arm for that one.
Yeah.
Trey couldn't run under it.
Little out of his reach.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Just underway from J.A. Fair. Hatcher with Watkins to the left. May stick this one in his belly. We'll wait and see. Oh, he's going to pass. Quick pitch to the right. Has a receiver. Caught at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. Easy pitch and catch to Brett Lynch.
Touchdown, Bruins.
Brett Lynch. That looked like practice there.
Yeah, that was a practice throw there. He was just wide open right up the middle.
Touchdown, Bruins. So within a minute 25, the Bruins have scored. They've gone 80 yards. Actually had to go 85 because second down was from the 15. So Hatcher on to kick. Wesley Wise on the hole. And here comes a whole host of War Eagles. Well, I'm telling you what. Looked like a jailbreak that time.
Yeah, it certainly did, didn't it?
All he did was make a little hitch move like the Bruins always do.
Always
on their
do.
Extra point, and you'd think people would figure it out by now, but
Yeah.
but PA's going to decline it. They're just going to go ahead and kick. There's about 7 or 8 of them came charging through. They all turned around at the same time, headed back the other way. Oh, they jumped again. This may take longer than we thought. Coach Kelly's going to have to tell them just to hold still.
Yeah.
The officials. Oh, they're going to call this on the Bruins. So they're just going to back them up 5 yards. The 8. Yeah, that's what Chris Hamsler was talking about. PA turns one down, then they get a penalty taken on them. So this time the kick will be from the 15 from Hatcher. Snap is good. The kick is up. It's long enough, and it is right down the middle. It's good. It's 7-0 Bruins. As we start this thing off, we'll keep it right here. So a nice scoring drive right off the bat for the Bruins. It's another Bale Chevrolet scoring drive. Bruins marching 80 yards in 1:25 seconds.
We know, Jay, the defense is, if the Bruins don't get the ball this time in their own defense, they don't want to be the first team to let the War Eagles score. So they're going to be going all out to stop the score.
Wondering if Coach Kelly goes for the onside kick here, or if he just kicks it away, or doesn't like kick. He never has liked kicking it away.
No,
years back,
he's
afraid somebody's going to spring a long return against him. He'd rather just give him the ball at the 45, 50-yard line than.
He's going to let Trevor James do the onside this time.
Well, he's teeing it up at the 40. Bruins leading at 7-0 here at Fair. We're 1:25 seconds into the game. Laying the ball flat on the 40-yard line.
For the kickoff. Brazil.
Trevor James, a senior. Here comes the kick. It's a frisbee. It's not going to go 10 yards, but Fair jumped out and touched it anyway. At about the 48, they'll have the ball on the Bruins side of the 50 at the 48-yard line. Moving from our right to our left.
The ball is spotted at the Bruin.
Looks like Keem Gilmore looks like is going to start off as their quarterback. Gilmore is a freshman. He's a 9th grader. 5'10", 150.
Well, if he gets to play every year, he ought to have a lot of experience by the time he's a senior and ought to be an outstanding player.
Dietrich Johnson, a running back. Johnson's off to Gilmore's left. He's going to pass. Looks to throw, passes high and incomplete. Well, it was too high for one receiver and not far enough for another. Kalik Brazel was looking for it.
Brazel is incomplete.
Defending on the play, Blake Titus was back there.
Blake Titus on the coverage. 2nd and 10.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Keem Gilmore, a 9th grader. Yeah, I mean, if he sticks it out, he's getting plenty of reps here this year and next year. Gilmore this time is going to hand it off. Running back gets about a yard, maybe 2, gets a couple of yards. Dietrich Johnson was the running back. Up the middle. They're going to say he got the 46-yard line.
We'll just say the middle of the Bruin line made the tackle on that one.
Yeah, we're all piling in there. It'd be 3rd down and 8. What you would think would be a passing down here.
Yard line, 3rd and 8.
Gilmore works from shotgun. And
Dietrich Johnson on the carry.
He's got Johnson off to his left. He's going to pass throw. The rush is on. He's in trouble. And they've still got a hold of his shirt. He tries to get rid of it, and he does, and it's going to go as an incomplete pass. They were dragging him down by the shirt when he cut loose with it.
Yeah, Will Osmond had him all tangled up around his ankles, and he twisted and turned a little bit, and the quarterback that is, and
he was able to
got rid of it.
Yep, able to throw the football forward.
Pass intended for Johnson is incomplete.
So that's going to be 4th down and 8, and the War Eagles are going to kick it away. Faustino Santana, their kicker.
I like that name.
He's a junior. He's standing back at his own 43-yard line. Nobody back deep for the Bruins. He gets the snap, gets the kick away, end-over-end kick. Gets to the 25, inside the 20. It's going to roll dead at about the 15-yard line, just inside the 15-yard line. So the Bruins will take over again offensively, leading this one 7-0 with 9:28 to go in the first quarter. Conference game number 1. 5A Central. Another interesting game tonight across the river. McClellan is at Sylvan Hills tonight.
Yeah, that will be a good game.
Would be one to kind of
at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10.
Keep track of. 1st and 10 Bruins. Hatcher with Watkins off to his left. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. He's going to head it to Watkins. He's got a hole. 20 out to the 25. Steps over one defender. They've got him if they can bring him down. He's hard to bring down. About the 27, 28-yard line. Galik Brazel. A lot of these guys will play both ways for fair. They have to. They don't have the numbers.
Yeah,
That's a gain of 13 for Jared, and that's a first down. At the 28. Watkins off to the right of Hatcher this time. On 1st and 10 from the 28. Watkins gets it again, has another hole, 30, 35, 40. 45 at the 50, at the 45, the 40, at the 30, at the 20, and he's just tripped up at the 15-yard line. He had one guy running, had an angle on him. That was Galen Finley.
got him by the ankle there.
He dove and just got his ankles and got him off balance enough to where he couldn't make it all the way. They're going to mark it at the 14-yard line.
14-yard line.
I thought he was going to go there all the way, Jay. I sure did.
I knew somebody had an angle on him, but I wasn't sure they were going to be able to dive and trip him up.
You know, before the first game at home this year, I met Jaron and told him that one of the little things we say about him, if he's even, he's leaving.
He's
he
even,
said,
he's leaving.
Yeah, I've heard that, and he got a big kick out of that.
Yeah, here's a handoff down to the 10. Handoff this time to Will Hart. Trying to find some room to the right. Derek Lloyd makes the tackle, though.
He's brought down by number 10, Derek Lloyd.
See where they're going to mark the football.
Just inside the 9-yard line.
Yeah, close to the 8. So some pretty good yardage there. You got about 6 yards on the play. Second down for the Bruins. Still in the first quarter. 8:22 to go in the first quarter. Bruins trying to put more points on the board.
Looks like we got Zach David, quarterback.
Yep. He's going to pass. Throws it up in the end zone. It's going to be overthrown at back corner of the end zone. You got to watch that back corner. I told you a couple of years ago I was here, and it has a slant to it back there. I don't want somebody tearing up an ankle or a knee.
Third and about 5.
So it's third down and about 4.5.
I see
Bruins leading at 7-0.
See Lane Hatcher's back in at quarterback.
Somebody coming in late. One of the receivers. Jackson. Hatcher back to pass. Looks, throws, caught at the 5. And a lateral. And a lineman has it. And he's going to go into the end zone. He lateraled that one off to Trevor James. Cameron Bland caught it at about the 1. And then just waited for James to come around and flipped it to him. And he went into the end zone for a touchdown.
You know, that'll be one of the highlights of his career, being able to score a touchdown for the Bruins there. You can kind of tell they're pulling out all stops tonight.
They're trying a few new things here.
Yeah, that's kind of a do as you please game, I'm afraid to say.
Hatcher on for the extra point. Snap is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. It will take a break. It's another scoring drive for the Bruins. Now 14-0 here at J.A. Fair. 8 minutes to go in the first. Listening to Bruin Football, 96.5 FM, The Answer. Bruins will kick it away from the 40-yard line, leading now 14-0 here at J.A. Fair. Conference game number 1. James will kick it away. It's another spinner that's not going to go 10 yards. It's going to go about 6, but the War Eagles fall on it. They'll have the football at the Bruin 44. Yeah, this is also one of those games too, Brooks, where, and I don't mean this the way it sounds. Don't mean any offense by it at all. But if you're Coach Kelly, you would like to get to that mercy rule, that sportsmanship rule,
right,
and
early.
get this clock going in the second half. You don't want to keep some of these guys out here and take a chance on getting somebody hurt accidentally.
No, sure don't.
So you want to take care of business, get your points on the board, and then try to play some other players out there.
Right. I think the reserves tonight will get plenty of time.
Very well could. Here's Gilmore. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and the Bruins stack him up. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. You're going to lose about a yard on the play, maybe a half yard.
Handoff goes to number 9.
There's Dietrich Johnson.
He stopped by number 47.
He's a senior, 5'8", 165. You got to give these guys credit that are juniors and seniors that have stuck it out with this program over the past 2 or 3 years. I mean, hats off to them. It's not an easy thing to do, but some of these guys have stuck it out. And I hope it pays off for them down the road.
I think it will, Jay. The problem they're going to have, though, is
there's a pass caught at about the 35 down to the 31. That was number 5, but we don't have him listed.
No, we don't have him listed. But their mentality, that they've got to get away from this losing mentality.
Yeah. So that's first down for Fair, all the way down to the Bruin 30. Quarterback is Akeem Gilmore. Good little play there, good little pass play. Picked up first down yardage. Here's a handoff up the middle. Gained about 3, maybe 4 on the play is Johnson. Gets down to the Bruin 27, so give him 3 on the play. It'll be second down and 7. We're in the first quarter, 6:43 to go in the first quarter. Bruins leading at 14-0. Gilmore, the quarterback. Shotgun formation. Johnson to his right. He's going to try Johnson again. The Bruins are ready for it, and he's going to be stacked up and lose maybe a half a yard on the carry. May have made it back to the line of scrimmage. Wesley Wise was the first Bruin there. He was waiting on Johnson to get there.
He's brought down by several.
So we'll call it third down and say, well, I think they gave him about a half-yard gain on that. Can't tell by look at the sticks over there, I'll tell you that. Third, and we'll call it 6. So a third down play to try to keep this drive alive for J.A. Fair. Gilmore in a shotgun on third down. He's going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson's going to get back to the 25, just inside the 25. So it's going to bring up fourth down and 5. Will Hart was the first Bruin there.
Handoff goes to Johnson.
So we'll see if, I don't know what they're going to do here. Ball's at the Bruin 25. It's 4th and 5. You'd think, they're going to go for a field goal. They're going to try a field goal. They're going to try to put some points on the board for the first time this season. Garrett, let's see. No, that's going to be Jose Rivera. Jose Rivera, senior kicker. Snap is down. The kick is up. It's tipped, and it's going to be no good.
That would have been a 42-yard field goal. If he would have made that,
it was tipped to the line of scrimmage. So the Bruins will take over.
Well, I guess there, Jay, they're just trying anything to get on the scoreboard.
Well,
don't blame them, though.
No. I thought at first they were going to punt from the 25-yard line. I thought, 4th and 5, what do you got to lose?
Right.
Go
That's
for
true.
it. But then they attempted the field goal.
Yeah.
So the Bruins will have it on the 20. It'll be 1st and 10. Hatcher quarterback. They're leading at 14-0 here early. Hatcher looks to pass, has plenty of time, throws a crossing pattern, caught at the 30, 35, 40, out to the 45, out to the 48-yard line.
Nathan Biagioni.
That is. He's a junior, Nathan Biagioni.
He's brought down by number 2.
Big pass play up close to midfield to the 48.
At the Bruin 48-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for the Bruins. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hatcher has 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Watkins in the backfield. He's going to swing it out to Watkins. He's got to make a man miss, and somebody's going to latch on to him. He still makes yardage. Across the 50 down to the 45. I don't know how he keeps going like that. Deontay Clark had him.
Initially by number 30, Deontay Clark.
He just kept
spinning him around,
and whirling and
going, didn't he?
It's all the way down to the 44-yard line of Fair. Bring up second down and 3.
Well, I know this about Jaron. He's going to give everything he's got to make every yard that he possibly can.
He's still in the backfield. He's going to get the call up the middle. They've got him at the line of scrimmage, but he's still going to make the first down to the 40-yard line. It's Williams on the carry. Kerpink Williams. So that's a first down for the Bruins at the 40 of Fair. Moving from our left to our right. Hatcher looks both ways. Now he's ready. Swings it. A little swing pass out to the right. Caught at the 40, 35, 30. Down to the 25-yard line to Brett Lynch. That'll move the chains again. Gain of about 15. Henry Brooks made the tackle. Got about just outside the 25-yard line.
Henry Brooks at the 25-yard line.
14-0 Bruins. They're looking for more. We're under the 4-minute mark now in the first quarter. Most of these officials are pretty quick on getting this clock started, too, after these things. Hatcher back to pass. Looks, surveys the whole field. Has a man out there. Lofts it out. Touchdown, Bruins. He had a man running free out there just about it. Unchecked. Ray Jackson in the corner of the end zone. And that's another touchdown, Bruins, and it's 20-0 with 3:40 to go here in the first quarter.
Touchdown, Bruins.
That was just a matter of getting the ball to Ray. He had broken free of the defender, and Hatcher laid it in there for him. Hatcher's, of course, having all day long back there to throw
I think
football.
he's just standing there waiting until somebody gets open. There's not putting any pressure on him at all tonight. Much unlike the Salt Lake City East game.
Yeah.
He was running for his life the whole ball game there just about.
The extra point is on the way, and it is good. Keep it right here.
Making the score.
That's another Bale Chevrolet scoring drive. Bruins are racking up some yardage here in this because they haven't had any short drives. They've all been from the 20 or the 15.
Right, yeah.
4 or 5 play drives. With 3:40 to go in the first quarter, they're up 21-0. I'm sure they're going to try to build a fairly safe lead here in the first half and get that clock running in the second half.
You know, it's a shame they can't start the mercy rule when they get to 35
Yeah,
points.
you know.
Whether what quarter, doesn't make any difference. But then you could have a miraculous comeback.
Well, it can happen.
That's true.
It could happen.
We know, like last year, we were playing McClellan. We had them up by a nice score in the second half.
Started
They
the
came
mercy
back.
rule, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, you know, hats off to these guys at Fair. You know, for everybody that's gone through summer football workouts and everything else, and then fall camp and 2-a-days and everything else.
Right.
They've made it this far, and it's got to be tough. I mean, it's a little bit easier when you're on a team that wins consistently.
Right.
But to have a team that can't rack up wins, it's got to make it very tough. So hats off to these guys for the effort they're putting out and that they have put out to be on the field here tonight. Here's a drop kick. Still on the ground. There's a scramble at about the 42 of Fair, and I think the War Eagles recovered it. Well, the Bruins came up with it. Bruins came up with it, but let's see. I haven't seen him. Now Bruins have it at the 42. It's kind of a drop kick, kind of a squib kick. Ethan Glasgow came up with it.
41-yard line, 1st and 10, War Eagles.
That wasn't a traditional onside kick. It wasn't laying on the ground. He just kind of dropped it and kicked it. It was fumbled around at about the 40.
Really, Jay, I'll tell you how he did that. I got with him last week.
Did
Showed
you?
him how to do that.
Really?
Yep, I sure did.
You're amazing.
No, I'm just pulling your leg.
I can show you how to fumble one. Ball is at the 42. Bruins have it at the Fair 42. Moving from our left to our right. Hatcher with Watkins off to his left. We may get a heavy dose of Watkins here. Let's see. Watkins has it. Finds a hole. 35 down to the 30. 25, 20. They can't pull him down by the shirt. He's still going inside the 15. Still going inside the 10-yard line. They finally knock him down at the 9-yard line. Derek Lloyd finally knocks him down at the 9-yard line. He's going to be racking up some numbers here, too, in this first half.
He certainly is.
You know, a lot of people around the state, when they start reading stats for quarterbacks and running backs and receivers, they forget that a lot of times the Bruins only play half. Their starters
they do.
only play half a game.
Right.
Here's a rumble up the middle for a touchdown. That was Peyton Titus. Peyton Titus scored. So the Bruins now up 27-0. But they forget that a lot of these starters only get to play a half a game in a lot of these games.
That's true. And you know, last year, Jaron had over 2,000 yards rushing.
Right. Yeah, and they're, you know, if
so that's outstanding.
you could rack up a lot more.
Yeah, that's outstanding. You know, for Or just playing about
Yeah.
half the time, just about.
Snap is good. The kick is blocked.
Oh, blocked.
I guess the Bruins just stood there on the extra point, and somebody came through for J.A. Fair and blocked it. So we'll take a break. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Our score now, Pulaski Academy 27, Fair nothing. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer. Fair, Jay Jones, Brooks Beasley, whole crew are here with us tonight. Bruins teeing it up at the 45 again. Looks like they may kick this one long. They got Hatcher in there, and normally if he kicks it, well, let's see. Yeah, he's going to put a leg in this one. It's going to go back into the end zone. This one's going to land right at the goal line, go into the end zone for a touchback. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Bruins have this one in hand early, 27-0.
Well, you know, we kind of expected this, Jay, from the get-go.
Well, you know, there's no sense pulling punches. I mean, like I said, hats off to these guys, Fair, for what they go through and everything. And sooner or later, I really hope it turns around for them.
It will.
Things go in phases, you
Yeah.
know, and right now they haven't had much luck in the past few years. They don't have the numbers, but they still come out and they play. They compete.
And they compete. Yes.
Right. So the quarterback in there is the ninth grader, Akeem Gilmore. As a running back off to his right, I think that's Johnson. First down from his own 20. He's going to pass, throws it downfield. This one is going to be popped up in the air, incomplete. That was intended that time for Henry Brooks. But a good job defending. Who was that Titus or who?
Blake
Titus. Yeah, Blake Titus was back there. Perfect position. Turned around as the ball got there. Knocked the ball up in the air and out of the way. Wasn't a bad pass, actually. It was just really well defended.
That was a good pass.
Second down and 10 from the 20. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Bruins leading at 27-0 here at Fair. Gilmore stands in the shotgun with his feet on the 15-yard line, takes the snap, rolls to his left, looks, throws it out there, and this is going to be overthrown at about the 25-yard line. Looking for Brazel, Khalid Brazel. That was Titus again defending, I think. Looked like he was trying to time that for an interception, but ball was overthrown.
It would have been a good candidate for a pick six.
Yeah. Galen Finley comes into the backfield now, and he's their other quarterback, but he's going in and play another position because Gilmore's still in there. On third down and 10 from his own 20-yard line. He's gonna try to keep it. Oh, he handed it off. He did hand it off. Is that Brazel? I think he's doing everything for him.
I think so.
He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Chris Lang brought him down.
4th and 10.
So now you got a fourth down, a punting situation for the War Eagles.
You know, right here, Jay, would be a good opportunity for the Bruins to see if they can field the punt. Normally, they don't keep anybody back. And doesn't look like that's going to be the situation right now either.
Victor Roca in to punt it away, standing at about the 10-yard line. Gets the snap, no rush. Gets the kick away, end over end, hits at the 45 and goes out of bounds just beyond midfield at the Bruin 40. Looked like the 49-yard line.
I think if they didn't, if they'd had anybody back then, that would have been hard to catch anyway.
They're going to mark it as the 49. Well, now they're walking around. The guy that called it came from across the field, and the side judge over here. They're going to say the 48-yard line of the Bruins. Okay. Now they got it straightened out. First and 10 Bruins at their own 48. Still in the first quarter, 2:14 to go until halftime. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Bale Chevrolet, Capital Business Machines, Central Arkansas Urgent Care, James Law Firm, Ortho Surgeons, Bowen and Heffley, the Palisades at Chenal Valley, and Ridge at Chenal Valley. Couldn't be here without you guys. Here's a handoff to Watkins, gets across midfield, and he's dragged down at about the 45 of Fair. Kerpink Williams brings him down after a gain of 8. He didn't think he was down. He was being dragged down from behind, but after they let loose of him, he kept on running. Second down and 2. That moves the ball down to the Fair 45-yard line. 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Hatcher, 2 running backs with him, but he looks to pass. Pumps, he's setting up a middle screen. It's caught at the 45, the 40, the 35. Dancing outside, trying to get away. Finally dragged down inside the 35. Is, let's see, Clink Brazel, but that was Trey Johnson. Clink Brazel made the stop. Trey made the catch on that middle screen. That's going to move the chains again.
He's brought down to the 35-yard line. First and 10 Bruins.
They let that offensive line rush through. And anytime you're an offensive lineman, they let you come through, you got to start thinking, uh-oh, something's up.
Yep.
Hatcher throws to the left, little slant pattern. Caught at the 35, the 30, down to the 25. First down at the 20. And knocked down inside the 20 at about the 17, maybe 18-yard line. That was Biagioni again. Throw was a little bit behind him. He had to turn around before he caught it. Then he got started in the right direction. Picks up a first down inside the 20. 55 seconds to go now in the first quarter.
The ball is spotted at the 18-yard line. First and 10.
Hatcher gets the snap, hands it off to Watkins. Good block as he's inside the 10, inside the 5. They got him by the shirt, but he's still spinning down to about the 2-yard line. Boy, in the old days of tearaway jerseys, he'd be in the end zone right
he'd already been in the end zone, wouldn't he?
He's dragged down by
that'll stop the clock with 38 seconds to go in the first quarter.
But it took about 3 or 4 of them to get him down there.
I think they're going to, let's see. That's a first down in the 3-yard line. The Bruins, I think, may be just letting this clock run here. Well, they still got 19 on the play clock. They've got 29 on the game clock, so they're going to have to snap it. First and goal inside the 5. About the 3. Here's a handoff to Watkins, and he bounces around. He's in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown Bruins with 15 seconds to go in the first quarter, and that makes it 33-0. Here's the Bruin Brigade across the way.
Yeah. Appreciate all the Bruin fans turning out tonight. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd.
Always do, don't they?
They really do.
Even when you're out of state.
I was. They had a good crowd at Salt Lake City.
I could see that, yeah.
And there was a good crowd last week at McCracken County.
Hatcher on for the extra point again. Got the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 15 seconds to go in the first quarter, it's now Pulaski Academy 34, Fair nothing. We'll take a break, come back right after this. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Is Rick going to be up here? Is Rick going to be up here?
I don't know. Well, we got 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Bruins will be kicking from our left to our right. Have this one in hand early, leading Fair at Fair, 34-0. Hatcher will kick it long again. End over end kick. Takes a running back to the 5-yard line. To the 10, the 15, out to the 20. Out to the 25, the 27-yard line. The return man, good return out to the 27. I think it was Brazel again. Robert Johnson, one of the guys there to knock him down. That Brazel, he must be tired after the ball game's over.
I bet he is.
Offense, defense, return man.
He's Mr. Do Everything for the War Eagles.
Junior, 5'6", 140. Well, they got him listed as wide receiver, cornerback, kick returner. So 1st and 10 for Fair at their own 27-yard line. With 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Bruins leading at 34-0. Quarterback is still number 17, Akeem Gilmore. Johnson off to his left. They've gone the whole way here in the first quarter. Hand off to Johnson, and he's going to be hit the line of scrimmage and make some positive yardage before he's, well, the ball's in the air. They're going to say it was down. They're going to say he was down about the 26, maybe 27-yard line. Will Hart was there to make the tackle along with Isaiah Woods and a host of other white-shirted Bruins.
Just inside the 27-yard line.
It's the end of the first quarter. We'll keep it right here, though. 34-0. Bruins leading it here at the end of the first quarter. Was kind of, you know, you hate to say it before the game starts, but it's kind of what you expected here.
It is, exactly.
These War Eagles looking for their first score of the season. They've been outscored so far 129-0. Losses to Hall, Morrilton, and Cabot.
You know, Cabot was 7-8, and they kind of took it easy on them compared to what Marlton did to them.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Malan had a lot to say about that, and it doesn't do any good to run the score up. It's just
no, these guys are out here trying, you know, just like your guys are out trying.
And Jay, you can only put so much icing on a cake.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, you know, one of these days, these guys will get it turned around. We'll see it again where Fair has a good football team one of these days. And
I'll tell you what.
Right now, it's not because of lack of effort. These guys are out here giving it everything they have.
Right. I'll tell you, the first game they do win, you're going to see some jubilation on that
celebration.
Yeah,
yep.
Celebration.
Well, right now, they're looking for the first score of the 2016 season. They had the ball at their own 27. Moving from our left to our right. Fair dressed in their all dark blue. Helmets, shirts, pants, white numerals. They're facing a 2nd down and 10 from their own 25, or own 27. Here's a flip out to running back, and the Bruins are all over him. About the 23. I think he made it up to the 24. We'll see where they mark him. They drive him backwards. Peyton Titus was the first one there.
Pitch goes to number 24.
That was flipped out to.
Correction, number 4.
We don't have him on the roster.
No, that number, the number 5, he's the mystery man.
That was the number 4 that time.
Oh, number 4, okay.
3rd and 12.
We have number 2, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Lost back to the 24, so 27 was the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 13. Gilmore sends a man in motion. He's back there by himself on 3rd and 13. Looks to pass, rushes on, throws. It's going to be dropped at about the 26-yard line. Defense was there anyway. Looking for Derek Lloyd.
Lloyd is incomplete.
So that'll bring out 4th down and about 13. And they'll have to kick it away again. Now they're bringing one of my favorite names, Faustino Santana, in to kick.
I like that name.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be a kicker, you got to have a name.
That is a classy name for a kicker. Yeah.
I know Morrilton or Ozark, one of the other had one named Juan Elizondo.
Ooh,
used to like
Juan Elizondo.
Here's the kick. It's a wobbly kick. It's going to hit at about the 45, bounce out to the 47, the 48, the 49, the 50, and it's going to settle in the grass at about the 49-yard line of Pulaski Academy. So the Bruins will take over there with 10:53 to go in the first half, leading it 34-0. We better come up with some stuff to talk about in the second half.
Okay.
Ball's at midfield. They're going to mark it down there.
You know, Jay, you talk about names. Here's a lady's name, and the name just kind of rolls off your tongue. Oh, my gosh. I'll tell you in a minute when I remember what it is. Oh, Isabella Rossellini.
Yeah. Not even gonna ask.
Okay.
First down for the Bruins. Hatcher hands it off to Watkins across midfield down to the 45. No, it's not Watkins. We got a new running back in there.
That's R.J. Anderson.
R.J. Anderson gets to the outside.
Handoff goes number 12.
Down inside the
RJ
30, down to the 26-yard line.
I
I like R.J.'s moves. He's got some good moves.
He does. He's shifty, and probably Jaron's probably done for the night.
Probably so.
26-yard line.
Corey McMillan's in the ball game as well. He split out wide to the left. First down Bruins at the J.A. Fair 26.5-yard line, we'll call it.
Wesley Wise is our quarterback.
Yep, got Wise in there. He looks, he fires. It's going to be complete at 25 down to the 20. Inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line to R.J. Anderson.
And Mr. Man, number 5, made the tackle.
Yeah.
Along with number 30, Deontay
Somebody
Clark.
will come tell me his name. We'll be glad to say it.
Wesley Wise, Jr. 6'1", 210. Very important to get these guys experience because you never know
That's right.
when they may have to step in there and take over things. So got a big running back in there now. Who's that, Brooksy?
Number 53 is, don't have a name for
Yeah, they're going to hand off to him. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He doesn't want to go down. He's finally going to be forced down to about the 16-yard line.
I guess he'll be the Mr. Man for the
I was
Bruins.
going to say that's 52.
52.
That's David
okay.
Steele.
Okay.
He's a
that's better.
senior. David's a senior, 5'10", 270. Man, they'll send another one in now, that running back. Third down, about a yard to go.
That's Trey Adams.
Oh, that's Trey coming. That's big Trey coming in.
He's only 5'8", 210.
Yeah, big Trey coming in. Try to get this first down. Wise at quarterback, and now let's see. The officials will stop things. They're going to call time. I think Fair's going to call a timeout.
Timeout, War Eagles.
We'll keep it here. We are 9:15 to go in the first half, and the Bruins have scored often, leading at 34-0. Of course, if they get to 35-0, then if they're up 35 after halftime, then we'll see the clock run in the second half.
Sure will.
Right now it's 34-0. Oh no, what started out to be a pretty warm Friday here, and it's kind of cooling off a little bit.
We take kind of a quick rundown of the 5A Central Conference that we're in. Start out with PA. They've won 2 games, lost 1. They lost to Salt Lake City East, and then they beat Sand Springs, Oklahoma, and McCracken County. BB is 1-2. They beat Lone Oak, lost to Greenbrier and Wynn. Wynn's got an outstanding team this year. Then we have Little Rock Christian. They're 0-3. They lost to Warren, Shiloh Christian, and Harrison. And we got Sylvan Hills. They're 3-0. They've beaten Calicut, Hot Springs Lakeside, and Jacksonville. Then we have Little Rock McClellan, 2-1. They beat Dallas Parish Episcopal and Little Rock Hall, and then they lost to North Little Rock. And we'll leave it right there.
All right, here's Wise. Flings one out to the right. Caught at the 15, at the 10, down to the 6-yard line. Barreling down to the 6. That's Ja'Cory McMillan. And I think we have maybe a War Eagle that's injured on the field.
24, Ja'Cory McMillan.
Somebody down. Now he's back up again.
He stopped
Back
number
up.
5.
Didn't stay down long.
Oh, he's kind of back down. He doesn't know what he
At
wants
the War
to do.
Eagles 6-yard
Thought that
line,
was a
first
Central
and
Arkansas
4.
urgent care injury time out there for a second, but he got back up in a hurry.
He sure did. That was number 2, that
Brazel?
Kalik Brazel.
Probably worn out. Here's a handoff to Big Trey, and
Oh,
he's going to
Big Trey
score.
gonna
He's
score
going to
him a
rumble
touchdown.
inside the 5 all the way to the goal line.
Number 34,
They're not going to tackle him.
No.
Trey Adams scores with 8:47 to go here in the first half, and the Bruins now leading it 40-0.
Kind of finish the rundown on the Central.
Go right ahead.
5A Central. Next we have Little Rock Mills. They are 1-2. They beat Maumelle and lost to Jacksonville and Little Rock Hall. Then we have Parkview, Little Rock Parkview. They are 0-2. They lost to Benton and North Little Rock. And then finally, as we mentioned earlier, we have Fair. They've lost to Hall, Marlton, and Cabot. They're 0-3. And right now they're in the process of losing to the Bruins. So they're going, after tonight, I believe they'll be 0-4.
Well, Hatcher on for the extra point. Now flags come in. This will delay things a bit.
Charge the snap, there's a penalty flag on the play.
That's going to be an offsides against the
Offside
War Eagles,
against the
declined
War Eagles
by
is
Pulaski
declined.
Academy. So Hatcher's on again, out there for the extra point. Snap, a good handle that time by Wise, and he picks it up, and the kick is belted through there. So we'll take a break, 8:47 to go in the first half. Our score now. Pulaski Academy 41, Fair nothing. You're listening to Bruin Football. Back at J.A. Fair. Things cooling down a little bit. I thought earlier they were going to have to stick some IVs in us and rejuvenate us, but
Yeah, I was sweating
doing
it
okay.
there, boy. It was really hot up here in this press box.
here comes the Bruins kick from right to left. It's a squibber, and it's fumbled around. Now picked up at the 17. Now here's a pitch back at the 20, the 25 out to the 30. They had a little seam there for a minute. Bruins finally catch up with them about the 37. Boy, the fans got pretty excited down here below us.
They sure did.
They're waiting for that first score. And
Yeah.
They almost had a lane on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Several Bruins.
They're going to knock him out right at the 40-yard line. Mark Odom knocked him out finally.
40-yard line, first and 10.
Don't tell me it was Brazel again.
It was, Jay. It was Brazel, number 2.
So first and 10, War Eagles at their own 40, moving from our left to our right. 8:39 to go until halftime. Bruins leading at 41-0.
I think we've got a little bit of a second team in there right now, defense.
Yeah, Gilmore, the quarterback, running back up the middle across the 45. Good gainer, still leaning forward. He's going to get 6 or 7 out of it. 7, we'll say, out to the 47. Yeah, you're right. I think we're getting some of our other players in there, getting them some experience.
Number 10, Derek Lloyd.
Lloyd was running back. He's a
He's brought down by
sophomore.
a host of Bruins.
Gain of
After
7.
making his way to the 42.
Seemed like I saw White Hal on the bottom of the pile there. I don't know if he was the first one to hit the runner or not, but he was definitely in on the tackle.
3.
Second about 3.5. Gilmore with his running back off to his left. That's Lloyd. Gilmore's going to keep it. I don't know if he wanted to or not, but he ended up with a football back there, and the Bruins are all around him. The amazing thing is the official on the far side is going to mark it right at the line of scrimmage, I think. Now he's going to lose a couple. Back at the 45. Raz Jordan, Tyler Trowbridge.
I think that's the first time we've seen those two names this year.
Well, if you've got a PA jersey on, you're going to get some playing time tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Third down and about 5 for the War Eagles at their own 45. Gilmore, quarterback, running back off to his right. Gilmore to pass, looks. The rush is on. He's flushed out of there. He's caught. Now he's trying to get away. Now the ball is stripped, and the Bruins have it at the 27-yard line. Who was that made? Is that 64?
Number 16.
64 stripped it.
Tyler
Trowbridge got the fumble.
Trowbridge got the fumble. Will Shelton did a good job of getting in there and stripping that thing and holding on to the quarterback. What a job. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
6'3", 195. Will Shelton, good job.
That's probably a name you're going to hear.
Yeah, I would
in the
imagine.
future.
Yeah.
He's got some good size on him just to be a sophomore.
He had the quarterback, and the quarterback kept struggling to stay up, and Shelton just raked his arm down and knocked the football loose. And the Bruins have it at the 27-yard line. Good play by that sophomore, too, though.
Yeah.
He got in there, made the tackle on the quarterback, and stripped it. And here we go, Wise with big Trey Adams to his left, and they're going to do a little shovel pass, running to the right at the 25, out to the 20. Inside the 20, at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, got away from a defender, and he's going to score.
That was Brandon Perkins for the touchdown, Jay.
Brandon Perkins, a sophomore.
Touchdown, Bruins.
Well, Perkins looked like, for all the world, he was caught. And then all of a sudden, he ducked his head, and the defenders went right over him.
Yeah, he just
He looked up and saw nothing but stripes in front of him.
I bet he was surprised.
Yeah. He looked up, and all he could see was a concession stand and the restrooms.
And pay dirt.
Yeah. So a touchdown for Bruins makes it 47-0, 6:48 to go in the half. And the Bruins are looking to the sideline, trying to get somebody back out there in a hurry. And they do. They're waiting for the extra point. Snap is on the way. It's good. The kick is up. Kick is a low line drive that makes it through.
Hatcher's point after kick is good. Making the score, Bruins.
Well, we'll take another break. 6:48 to go here in the first half. Our score now, Pulaski Academy 48, Fair nothing. You're listening to All right, the Bruins will kick it away from right to our left, leading it 48-0 here in the first half. Hatcher kicks it away, long kick. This one's going to go into the end zone for a touchback, and J.A. Fair will have it at the 20. Well, we'll see who comes out on defense this time. Everybody's getting some playing time now, as they should.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. I'm gonna fool. We'll fool Steve back at the studio here in a minute. I'm going to send it back in a minute for station identification at the top of the hour, but he doesn't realize I know that.
Uh-huh.
Because as many years as I've been doing this,
Uh-huh.
my one thing that I can't remember is to toss it back at the top of the hour for station ID. I don't watch the clock. I'm usually watching the game clock.
Right.
But I just looked at the clock. I know.
What time it is?
I know. So I'm going to surprise him in a minute.
Okay.
If you'll remind me, I may forget it.
Oh, I'll remind you here.
Here's a long pass. It's up for grabs, and
Uh-oh,
it's going to be caught. It's going to be caught. It's going to be a touchdown. The 40, the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and the War Eagles have scored, but there's a flag at about the 50-yard line.
Pass interference on the Bruins, Jay, I do believe.
I believe the War Eagles are on the board.
Yep.
They are on the board. This crowd on the near side, the ones that are here, are going crazy.
They are ecstatic.
So they have broken their scoring drought. We'll wait for the official to announce it. Now even the coaches are jumping up and bumping each other on the sideline.
It's not official yet, Jay. It's not on the scoreboard.
Pass interference against the Bruins. Declined, and it's a touchdown. And Fair is on the board. 48 well, good for them. 48-6.
Yep.
They don't want to hear people talking next week about how long it's been since they've scored, and that sort of stuff. So that's good.
Yeah. That was just kind of a chunk and run play. You just
That ball was
eased it up and ran under it.
That was a pop-up
Yeah.
that the defender caught. Here's the kick, and, 6 is all they're going to get because that one went under the crossbar. So they'll get 6. 6:33 to go in the half, and it's now 48-6. The official forgot his flag, but the coach has picked it up out here, and he's walking off the field with it. So Jay Fair gets on the board.
On the board.
They've been outscored, up till tonight it was 129. It was 177-0 until just a moment ago.
Just a moment ago. Well, like I said, it had to go
the
other way sometime.
There you go. So it's now 48-6. Give them something to celebrate. with 6.5 minutes to go.
You know, they'll say, hey, you know, we scored on the #1 team in 5A
That's
right
right.
now. We're getting better.
That's right. So Fair will kick it away after a score. That's something they haven't done in a long time.
Touchdown pass was to number 5, Darion Pope.
Darion Pope is number 5. His name will go down in Fair history.
He's Darion Pope,
Yep.
Jay.
Here's the kick. Well, he kicked it before the official blew, but they're gonna let it go. Somebody got to pick this up. It bounces inside the 30, and the Bruins get it at the 29-yard line. Hudson Henry made the recovery.
The kickoff is down by number 84, Hudson Henry.
6.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
At the 29-yard line.
48-6 Bruins. Bruins will take over at their own 28-yard line. They're playing a bunch of guys that deserve to be out there. You know, these guys put in the time and the effort and everything else, and you're going to need them at some point. So they're getting some valuable playing time now, and now a timeout Fair. That's their second one. They'll take a break. What's this? You think Steve's ready? You think you heard me a minute ago?
I don't know.
This is going to be a.
But you got about 30 seconds
He's
till
going to
the
think
top
this
of
is
the
going
hour,
to be a miracle.
according to my clock.
Yeah.
I'm not accurate at all. But, you know, tonight, Jay, we got one player that's not playing for the Bruins out in the center, Alan
Muya.
Yeah. He's been in a little controversy right now, and so he's sitting out this game. And maybe all that'll be over with after tonight. I certainly hope so.
It's over with, yeah. Good ball player. Helps the Bruins out. Look forward to seeing him back. So the Bruins come back out on the field. Fair's coaching staff is using this to get in a little coaching out on the field. Bruins have it at their own 28-yard line, we'll call it. Moving from the right to the left. Bruins leading at 48-6 here in the first half, and if they can maintain that 35-point margin, it'll start the sportsmanship rule in the second half. We'll take this play, and then we'll go to a station ID here in just a second. Here's a handoff across the 30 out to the 35, trying to find some room, but dragged out of bounds. It was R.J. Anderson. He kind of slipped as he hit the sidelines over here. That's wet for some reason or other.
Looks like the players are standing right on.
Gain of about 7.
And about 3.
Hey, how about let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Pulaski Academy Bruin football. How about that? I got it right. There's a handoff to R.J. Anderson. He doesn't get much. Moves the ball out to about the 37-yard line. Still has 2 yards to go for first down. DeJuan Robinson made the tackle. Quarterback for a little while has been Wesley Wise. He's a junior. Back there by himself. He has 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Clock ticking down to about 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. Wise on 3rd and a couple. Looks over the middle, no rush. Now throws. It's going to be too hot for the receiver at about the 45-yard line.
For number 30, Deontay Clark is incomplete.
Drew Dame in the ball game. They were looking for him. He's a sophomore. They got a bunch of sophomores in there right now.
We've got it, Drew Dane listed as 5'1". I think he's a little taller than that, but 125.
Well, here's a 4th down play for the Bruins. First one tonight. 4th down and a couple from the 38-yard line. Handoff up the middle, bouncing it outside. That's a first down. Outside the 40, up to the 41. That was Anderson. Tackle made by Kendrell Land.
He's stopped by number
It's first
52.
down Bruins. They reach the 41. They'll set the chains, and then they'll start the clock again with 5:17 to go in the first half. It's just joined us. It's been all Bruins. They lead at 48-6 here before the half. But the big news for your Fair fan is they've scored. They're on the board. Wise, the running back, off to his left on 1st and 10. Hands it off up the middle, the 45. Bouncing outside Anderson, the 50, the 45, at the 40. He was one man away from breaking it, and they brought him down at the 35-yard line. Inside the 35, close to the 34.
Anderson carries on the play.
Dwayne White brought him down.
1st and 10 Bruins.
Yeah, he had one man to beat, and he'd been off to the races.
I'm telling you, with RJ, he's got some moves, and good run there down to the 34-yard line. Clock running, 4.5 to go here in the first half. Second half should be played with sportsmanship rule, which will be quickly. Wise is going to keep this one up the middle. He's going to spin forward down close to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 4. DeJuan Robinson was the first one there.
He stopped at the
That'll be second down, and
2nd and 5.
we'll call it 5 yards to go.
Right now, Jay, we have Wesley Coleman. He's number 71 for the Bruins, left tackle, and number 78, Garrett Conrad, the right guard.
Trey Adams just rumbling and bumbling up the middle, down to about the 29-yard line. Big Trey carries load with him when he hits the middle like that. Down to the 29, that's a first down. 3:50 to go in the first half. So first down Bruins at the fair 23-yard line. Well, we'll see if these guys can keep this drive going. It's like I say, a lot of people look out there and think, well, they got some of the subs in.
Yeah.
This is important for a team because
true.
these guys, you're going to have to depend on these guys at some point. If not this year, then
Somewhere down the road.
somewhere down the road, yeah.
And we also have Chase.
Illegal substitution against the Bruins.
We also have playing center now, Chase McCarver, number 54.
Yep.
Number 78 playing right guard is Garrett Conrad.
Garrett Conrady.
No, I got 75. I'm sorry. Trevor James, right guard.
1st and 15.
And 74, Luke Hall's right tackle. Those guys don't get their names called every once in a while, so I just thought
Yeah, they do a heck of a job,
heck
too.
of a job for the Bruins.
Here's Big Trey, takes the snap himself, and he's just trying to make some yardage inside the 20, and finally, before he quits falling and leaning forward, he's down to the 20-yard line.
At the middle. He's stopped by several War Eagles, led by
Just
number
outside the
50,
20-yard line. Brian Penny on the tackle. He was one of about 5 it took to get him down.
2nd and 6.
So it'll be second down Bruins and about 6 yards to go. The ball's outside the 20. They need to get inside the 15 for a first down. They're looking to the sideline. Coach Kelly and the staff flashed in some signals. Now a late defensive switch by Fair. And Trey takes it up the middle down to the 15-yard line. Close to a first down. Depends on where they mark it. They're going to mark it a little short. It's going to be third down and short for the Bruins. They're at the 15, but they have to get inside the 15 by a couple of feet.
Trey needs to be a little careful there. He was in motion, in my opinion.
Yeah, he took off forward before the snap,
yeah.
I think the official at this point are saying,
not
2 minutes to go now till halftime.
Not too concerned about that.
Yeah.
But probably in a tight ball game, there would have been a flag there.
So third down and a couple of feet for the Bruins from the 15-yard line. Trey's in there again. He's going to run it to the right, and this time they come through and get him. Well, there wasn't any question about what was going to happen. Trey was going to run it, but Fair knew that too, and it's a big loss on the play. Derek Lloyd was the first man there.
I don't think he was even touched. He was back there just about the time the ball was.
Yeah. Fourth down and 8 for the Bruins.
The ball is spotted just outside the
See if Trey stays in there to run the offense, and he will. We're going to get to see Big Trey pass the ball here. 4th down and 8.
Well, I don't think we've seen him pass.
No, they got
all the time
3
we've been
receivers
here.
to the right, 2 to the left on 4th down and 8. He's back there by himself.
I believe he is, though.
He's looking to pass.
Yeah.
He scrambles to the left. He dumps
Oh,
it incomplete
almost.
at about the 20-yard line. And the War Eagles have held, and they'll take over at their own 22-yard line. With 57 seconds to go, Jack Polk is who it was intended for, and that one fell in front of Jack's shoes, so he didn't have a chance to grab it.
They just need to put a little bit more steam on it, and I think it'd have made it there.
So 1st and 10 fair at their own 22-yard line. 57 seconds to go. Here in the first half, the Bruins leading at 48-6. Rick DeVete will be with you here at halftime. On a warm night, but hey, it's not so bad when you got a 48-6 lead now. So there's a fumble in the backfield. The Bruins are on it immediately. Boy, I'm telling you what, by the time Akeem Gilmore got that snap and dropped it, reached down to pick it up, he had Bruins in his pocket.
36, Bennett Perkins.
Lost back to the 15-yard line. The loss of 7.
17.
Second down 17.
Bennett
Perkins
was
in there.
Yeah, that was who made
Sophomore.
the tackle there.
Well, second down and 17 from their own 15 for the War Eagles. Should have a fast second half. Gilmore back to pass, rolls to his right. This ball was tipped and up. Actually, it hit the receiver right in the chest, Derek Lloyd, and bounced straight up, but nobody there to corral it. It's going to be incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 17. 10 seconds to go now until halftime. I kind of figured to be one of these nights here at Fair. You kind of figured it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bruins have scored enough in the first half to play a lot of people and to force that sportsmanship rule in the second half. 10 seconds to go. We'll see what Fair does here on 3rd down and 17. I think it's Brasnon's Gilmore. Throws it incomplete. Had a receiver at about the 24-yard line, but he couldn't bring it in.
Incomplete. 4th and 17.
So it's 4th down, and that stops the clock with 5 seconds to go. Now they're going to have to punt it away, I think. Well, maybe not. I don't think they're sure yet. Ball's at the 15-yard line and need to get out to the 32 for a first down. 4th and 17, and they're going to go for it. I know they're hoping to run this clock out, too, even though Coach Kelly wouldn't, I don't think, would score 5 seconds to go. He's back to pass, rushes on, he's in trouble, he slips, he dodges one man, and finally the Bruins sack him back at the 5-yard line, but that did take more than 5 seconds, so it is halftime. And our score at the half, and hang with us because Rick DeVete's going to be with Brooks here at halftime and do a little talking. Our score at halftime, Pulaski Academy 48, Fair 6. You're listening to Bruin Football on 96.5 FM, The Answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the Pulaski Academy Bruin Brigade.
What time did you get home last week?
Spend the night.
Oh, okay.
Left Kevin Milan.
Watch movies. We had Leonard Skinner and the Eagles and all.
There you go.
Oh, Popeye was just.
All right, we're back here at J.A. Fair High School, home of the War Eagles, where the PA Bruins are winning 48-6 at halftime. Brooks, pretty much of a dominating game by the Bruins.
Absolutely. It's, as you could say, one-sided.
No doubt, one-sided. Got to say this, J.A. Fair, the kids are playing hard. They're getting after it consistently. But really, to start off the beginning of the game, it really kind of looked like up front, the Bruins were going to be able to take control of the game. Watching Seth Martin and Luke Jones, those guys were getting great push up front. And Jaron Watkins has just been all over the field. It's been a little bit more of a rest day for Lane and the receivers. It's been more of the running back and offensive line positions taking control of the game on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Lane's had plenty of time tonight to throw the ball. He hadn't been harassed hardly at all.
No, there are no linebackers named Tui Taufa or Tausinga roaming the field for Fair.
Right.
By the way, for anybody that is listening right now, just to let everyone know, East High from Utah last week played the mighty De La Salle team from California and ended up beating them. I think the score was either 24-23 or something like 25-23. That's how good the team in Utah was. Bruins really didn't have a chance in that game with all the turnovers and a variety of other mishaps. But at the same time, the Bruins did stick around and played pretty hard. But East High was a special team, to say the least.
Well, I can't say getting beat by 2 touchdowns is bad, really,
No.
against that level of competition.
No doubt, no doubt. I coached for 6 seasons in New Orleans, and maybe I could think of 3 or 4 teams that were as good as East High. Matter of fact, in 1995, Brooks, there was a team called St. Augustine High School.
Okay.
And they had it's where Leonard Fournette and the Honey Badger are from.
Okay.
They had Raynoch Thompson, who played at Tennessee, Roland Seymour, who played at Florida State. They had a receiver that ended up at LSU. His name was Nemesis Bates, and they had probably about 5 other guys that signed with schools on that team, and they were physically like East High.
Okay.
That's how special of a ball club that was, and we wish nothing but the best of luck to the East High Leopards throughout the season. It definitely adds to PA's season when you see a team that beat you continue to move on. So when you look at the district, Brooks, where do you see the challenge? Did you see some of the scores of what's going on right now? Sylvan Hills and McClellan are tied up right now.
Oh, okay. That's To me, those are the two big teams in the conference, Silver Hills or McClellan, and right now you say they're tied, so I bet that's a real good ball game.
Yeah, Sylvan Hills, they have a quarterback. Sylvan Hills played Catholic, and I've been able to talk with Mike Shepard, who I do the Hog Zone with on Channel 11. He said that Sylvan Hills' quarterback is the real deal. He's like a high school version of Cam Newton.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. So the defense is going to have to be ready and buck up and be ready for a guy who can tuck it and run and can also chunk it, from what I understand.
Okay.
And McClellan, they've got a heck of an offensive line and Pierre Strong. I think those are going to be the teams to challenge in the district for PA, and PA is going to definitely need to be ready. But next week we get BB.
The BB Badgers, yep.
Yep, I have a friend that's at the BB Little Rock Christian game right now. I can't find the score online, but let's put it this way. The guy that is there, he played ball for the Razorbacks. His name was Steve Hudson. He's a orthopedic surgeon at Ortho, Arkansas.
Okay.
And he's watching the game, and he and I played at the same time. And Steve said, is Coach Hatfield calling the plays for BB? Because it's option left, option right. It's not the spread you see PA or Gus Malzahn or Bobby Petrino type offense. It's just the opposite. That's what we're going to see next week.
Is that the wishbone we're going to see next week?
We're going to see the bone. They'll probably run 10 straight running plays at us and throw maybe one pass. I think they may have thrown 4 passes, 5 passes last year.
Well, one thing I remember about the wishbone when Arkansas was running, and this is no disrespect to Coach Hatfield or the team, but in critical situations, they would have 4th and 1 or whatever, and they'd call timeout, and it's going to be some big outstanding play they were going to run, and guess what? It was full back up the middle.
Yes. Well, I will say this. When his last year at the University of Arkansas, which was my redshirt freshman year, we did evolve. That's when he brought in Jack Crow, and they went to the I backfield and ran the option out of the I. But we had a little bit more of a dynamic passing game. Derek Russell was a receiver at the time. We had multiple tight ends that he put in the game. He'd line up sometimes with one back, not often. So he did start to evolve by the time he had left and gone to Clemson. He realized the flex bone or the wishbone wasn't working, especially when we got into the bowl game against UCLA for the 88 season, 89 Cotton Bowl. UCLA held us to less than 100 yards, I think, or right at 100 yards. The good news is we held UCLA to 17 points. We were loaded on defense back at that time. So, but one thing for sure that happened in 88 was we didn't have we won the turnover battle margin that year nationally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's such a big deal when you're playing ball control football.
Yeah,
just like Arkansas is right now. They're winning the turnover margin and keep the penalties under control and control the ball. So what do you think's going to happen tomorrow?
Oh, it's going to be a good, exciting ball game. I'm kind of like Trey Biddy. It's just there's so much good that's going to come out of that if we win.
No doubt.
There's so much down the road for us, but I'm just my gut feeling. I think the Razorbacks are going to lose by maybe a touchdown.
I had that thought process throughout the week, and then last night I listened. Well, I didn't listen. I read this morning about Bielema's radio show last night that he does from the Catfish Show. And he talked about how locked in they are, how focused they are, and they know what's on the line. Mm-hmm. If you ask me the strength of this team, it is ultimately their desire, their focus, to not let what has happened the last 2 years happen again. I listened. I was in Northwest Arkansas this week, and I listened to Bo Mattingly's show. And he had several people on from Houston and Texas A&M, and they're like, well, Arkansas isn't as good this year. And I'm sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, wait, hold on 1 second. So Alex Collins ran for 381 yards through 3 games last year, and Raleigh Williams has run for 357. Raleigh Williams played against Texas A&M last year and scored a touchdown and had some really strong runs against them. Our whole defense returns. The exact same defense that played last year is playing this year, but they're playing with a lot more confidence.
Right.
They're playing faster, and they're better. You know, I don't look at it being that way. I look at it, we're probably playing better football than we did a year ago. Now, here's the thing. A&M's playing better football than they did a year ago as well. I think they're more complete on the defensive side of the ball. They're playing a little more physical. They still have some holes they could give up on some things. People are worried about those ends getting upfield. I'm like, well, that can be a blessing in disguise. You can run off tackle to be able to take advantage of that quick rush. And I think defensively, if they try and run the ball against us, well, guess what? We were the second rushing defense in the SEC last year, and everybody came back. So I feel pretty good about them running the football.
Yeah.
You know, it's holding Trevor Knight inside the tackle box is going to be in containing him.
Yeah, and one thing that I mentioned here, and it's not what I know, it's just from what I heard today, that if Arkansas can stay out of the 3rd and long situations, they really stand a good chance to win.
No doubt.
If they are in 3rd and long, here comes those defensive ends that Texas A&M has, and
they can heat it up.
They can heat it up. Skipper's going to have his hands full.
You know, the thing is, Skipper will have his hands full, but Skipper saw him 2 years ago and held him out pretty good.
Okay.
So they've been playing against each other since day one.
Okay.
You
So
know,
this is not a new game.
Yeah,
for
this
either
isn't
one
a
of them.
new. The right side is going to be a different story with Brian Wallace. That's
Yeah.
where it'll be a little bit of a challenge because
Right.
Brian Wallace is going to be in the game. They moved Frank Ragnow to guard to help him with some calls. I know that for a fact. So you know, it's going to be an interesting game. Well, we've got about 3 minutes left and half here. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Bruin Football on All right, we're back here at JA Fair, home of the War Eagles. Well, we just got a score for the BB Little Rock Christian game, and it is 20-12 with Little Rock Christian leading BB in the game. Give some other scores right off the top here. You are looking at Camden Fairview is beating Hot Springs Lakeside 14-7. You've got obviously Little Rock. You've got Fair and Pulaski Academy here. It's 48-6. Mills is beating Little Rock Parkview. It's 13-0. You have Morrilton and Harrison are playing, and it is 35-7. Morrilton leading in that game. Sylvan Hills is playing Little Rock McClellan and beating them handedly now. It's 28-12.
Ooh, good.
That is a shocking
Yeah,
score, to say the
sure
least.
is.
Sylvan Hills, like I said, their quarterback is a player, to say the least. So those are a couple of the scores that are of interest. We're about to start the second half here. Obviously, the JV for the PA Bruins has taken the field against JA Fair, and they've held their own, to say the least. JA Fair has been able to get on the scoreboard with a nice long touchdown pass. But I'm going to turn it over to Jay Jones. We'll give you another little bit of a break here before we start the second half. You're listening to 96.5 FM The Answer.
Well, we're about ready to start the second half, and of course we'll have the sportsmanship rules. I hear you guys talking about Sylvan Hills up on McClellan.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
he said 28
28
to
to
12.
12.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That doesn't really shock me that much. I knew that was going to be a pretty good game going into that
Uh-huh.
because I heard you guys at halftime talking, and you're right. Those are the two teams that you mainly look at to be at the top, the upper portion of the 5A Central, along with the Bruins. And yeah, I mean that's knew that'd be a pretty good one there. BB next week,
So
which will be a good ball game too.
Then who do we have after that, Jay?
Well, at Little Rock Christian, I think.
Okay.
After that.
Yeah. I remember last year it was there just as a torrential downpour there
pouring
for a while.
rain. Pouring rain.
Yeah. Well, one thing about the Bruins tonight, they've distributed the touchdowns, Jay. We've had one by Trevor James, a hook and ladder there. He's number 75. He's a tackle. Got the score. And then we had another score by Ray Jackson. Next, we have one by Tate Titus. He had a 1-yard run, made it 27-0, and we missed the PAT. And then we had Mr. Jaron Watkins. He had a big 1-yard run. That was just one of many runs that he had the first half, but he did score a touchdown. Then we had the lumbering Trey Adams, number 33 for the Bruins. He scored a touchdown. And then we had another one that probably nobody's ever heard of, but Brandon Perkins scored for the Bruins, number 22.
I got just a minute to go here, Brooksito.
Okay.
Start of the second half, and the Bruins are on the field. The JFA's on the field. Of course, as you were talking about scores, Fair got their first score of the year in the first half.
Well, you know, that kind of reminded me of the day when I played, Jay. We were playing Marlton, and I think the score was 0-0 or whatever. And anyway, Marlton throws a long pass, and both of our defenders bumped each other and knocked themselves down. The Marlton receiver caught the ball and scored a touchdown, just waltzed into the end zone. Made the score 7-0. Well, the final score of the ball game after it's all said and done was 54-7.
Yeah.
So that just stirred us up, made us mad.
Kind of woke you up a little bit.
It did. It woke us up. Sure did.
Well, the Bruins, after winning at home in their first game, went on the road and played, as you guys were talking about, in Salt Lake City and then at McCracken County, Kentucky, which is just outside Paducah. What was it, about 5 hours?
It was about a 5-hour drive. Yeah, sure was. We got to cross 2 rivers while we were going there, Jay.
That's exactly right, the Ohio and the Mississippi.
Yeah, you sure did. They just kind of ran together right there. We crossed one bridge.
Within a few miles of each other, just right there at each other.
Yeah.
All right, the Bruins will kick from our right to our left. Fair won the toss, and they allowed the Bruins to get the first possession. They deferred to the second half. So now they'll get the second half kickoff. That's Brazel back standing at about the 5-yard line, waiting to try to return this one. Hatcher's been kicking long since the Bruins got a big lead. They did away with the onside kicks. And here comes the kick, and we are underway. Brazel goes back to watch this one bounce, and now he's going to pick it up inside the 5. He's back to the 5, back to the 10, back to the 20. He's cutting outside. He's at the 30, and he's going to try to tightrope but step out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Jake Terry, a sophomore, finally ran him out of bounds there. Got just enough of him to knock him off balance at the 37.
He was almost off to the races there, Jay.
He had a seam down the sideline, but they got enough of him to get him off balance, and he had to put a foot on the white line at the 37. Playing with the sportsmanship rule in the second half, which means the clock will run. Bruins up 48-6.
Play clock is not functioning at this time.
And Chris just announced that the play clock is, Chris Amsler doing the public address announcing here on the road tonight. They asked him if he would, and he is.
He's doing
just
an
announced
outstanding
that
job
the play clock is not working. Not the game clock, but the play clock.
Okay.
Don't think it should affect much.
No.
Quarterback is still Akeem Gilmore, and he's going to hand it off to his running back. No, he's going to keep it. He's going to keep it, and the Bruins have him corralled if they can tackle him, and they do, back at about the 35-yard line.
Akeem Gilmore keeps on the play.
Will Shelton, first Bruin there.
Several Bruins.
That'll lose a couple on the play. It'll be second down and 12. Bruins playing a lot of players, as you would imagine, have been since the second quarter.
I guess Coach Kelly Hurd complaining enough about not being able to see the numbers on the jerseys.
You can see them tonight,
with their white jerseys and silver numbers, but they've got dark numbers tonight. Makes it a whole lot easier for us.
Gonna have to get on to Coach Blake Amsler too. He normally texts me during the day and tells me what they're wearing.
Okay.
He didn't do it today.
Huh?
Maybe because I missed it the last couple of games. Second down and 12. Oh, there's a high snap. Gilmore throws it, and it's going to be caught. He threw it and had a receiver at about the PA 40. No, at their own 45-yard line. Brazel made the catch. All you got to do is just call his name out. Cade Jones made the tackle. So pickup of 9. It'll be at the 44. They need to get to the 47 for a first down. Third down and 3.
They need about another 7 or 8 players like Brazel, and they'd have an outstanding team.
He's all over the place.
He sure is.
Now a guy comes off and the coach says, what are you doing? Get back out there. So big 78 has to run back out. Darren Keys, he's a freshman though, 9th grader. Gets him back on the field. There's no play clock working right now, so I don't think anybody really cares. Gilmore looks to pass, slings it out to the right. It's going to be caught at the 40, the 45, first down. At the 50, 45, down to the 40, down to the 35, and finally knocked out of bounds. At about the 30-yard line, that's Galen Finley. He's a sophomore. I'm going to say he went out inside the 29. Thomas Wheelis, a sophomore, makes the stop.
We got a flag on the play, Jay.
Yeah, they're going to bring this one back.
There are 20 flags on the play.
Got 2 of them laying down. It's going to be holding against the War Eagles. Flags are laying back at the 44-yard line, their own 44. So the clock keeps running as they mark this off. We're down to 8:15 to go in the third.
With the play clock malfunctioning, the play clock will be kept on the field by the officials.
Well, down to the 8-minute mark, and they're still marking it off, so that's a big loss. They had a big gainer down to about the 34-yard line of PA, and that's going to back them up to their own 34-yard line. Third down and 13. Gilmore's gone the whole way at quarterback. He's got Brazel out there with him. I think Gilmore's signaling they only have 10 men, so now they have to send somebody in. That's Galen Finley, comes into the game. Now he's trying to figure out where to line up. He does. Now we're ready. Here's a option right to Brazel, and he's going to go to his near sideline here and be bumped out of bounds at the 37.
Brazel on the carry.
Tyler Trowbridge
16, Tyler Trowbridge
knocked him out of bounds.
At the War Eagle 37-yard line.
And that'll bring up fourth down and 10, and they're going to bring their punting team on. Jose Rivera is going to do the punting this time. Okay. 5'9", 187. Rivera standing back at his own 27-yard line. Nobody back deep for the Bruins. Very rarely do they have somebody back deep. They're just going to let Rivera punt this one away. On 4th and 10. Clock down to 6:40. No rush. Rivera punts it. It's going to land at the 30, inside the 30, the 25, the 20. Still rolling inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line.
Definitely got a good punt off there.
Yeah.
Got a good roll to it.
Jose Rivera's punt.
So first and 10 Bruins at their own 14-yard line, moving from our right to our left. They have a 48-6 lead with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. I think both coaches are wanting to try to get this one over with. They're using it mainly now as practice time for these two teams, you can tell.
Yeah, it is. Who's going to be our quarterback?
Well, Like Trey Adams looks like the running back on the far side. Is that Wise? Wise is going to keep it at the 15, the 20, the 25. He's going to be finally bumped out of bounds on the far side across the 30. At about the 32-yard line, looks like.
He's driven out of bounds at the 32-yard line. First and 10 Bruins.
So first down Bruins. Clock continues to run. 5:20 to go in the third. Bruins scored early and often during that first quarter, and they lead at 48-6. And we've seen a lot of these guys get some playing time that sometimes don't get playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Wise going to run himself up the middle. He's at the 40, the 45, outside the 50, down to the 45 of Fair.
Wise keeps on the play again.
And that'll move the chains.
He's stopped by number 52, Kerpink Williams. After making his way to the 45.
Kerpink Williams
First and 10 Bruins.
made the tackle.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Kerpink Williams.
That time Wise took it all the way to the 45 of Fair. Under 5 minutes to play in the third now. Bruins leading at 48-6. They have the football at the Fair 45-yard line. First and 10. Wesley Wise, your quarterback. He's a junior. He's going to hand it off to Trey Adams. Trey just rumbles down to the 40, inside the 40.
See, Brian Penny was on the tackle there, number 60 for the Warhawks.
Big Trey's a senior, 5'8", 210. Getting some playing time, giving Jaron Watkins a rest here in this one. Now coming in is R.J. Anderson at running back.
Completely different style.
Yep, totally. R.J.'s a junior, 5'11", 165.
The ball is spotted at the 38-yard line.
Second down and 4
and about 4
for the Bruins. There's a little end around coming our way at the 40. Not much there. And looked like a fumble maybe on the play. Let's see.
Number 13.
They got that one to Drew Dame. He's a sophomore, and he was hit from behind. And let's see what they call. They're going to say third now. Ball popped loose, but he'd already hit the ground. Kerpink Williams again on the tackle. Third and a couple for the Bruins. Ball is at the 37. Need to get to the 35 for a first down. We're approaching the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. It's been all Bruins. They'll go to 1-0 in conference play. Some interesting developments out at Sylvan Hills as they take on McClellan tonight. Here's a quick pass back to the right, caught at the 35, first down to 30. Down to the 25. Down to about the 23, maybe the 22. Nate Cumming, he's a sophomore. That's a first down. That'll move the chains.
Including number 10, Derek Lloyd. At the War Eagle 22-yard line.
First down, Bruins. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Leading at 48-6 here at Fair. Ball is spotted just outside the 22. Bruins moving from our right to our left. Wise gives it to Adams. He's inside the 20. He circles the wagons at the 15 and now gets inside the 15 down to about the 13.
Yeah, it took about 4 of them to get him down.
Yeah.
Down by several War Eagles, including number 33.
Buster Hunter was on the tackle, and I believe number 51,
13-yard line.
DeJuan Robinson. And there was a couple others. I missed their number.
Well, Big Trey got 9 on that play, so it'll be second down and 1. Ball is at the 13. They need to get just inside the 13. Ball just inside the 14. So we'll see if Adams gets another carry. He's putting in a full night's work. He does. And he's stacked up. Don't think he got it that time.
Carries again on the play.
I think everybody was thinking the same thing. Big Trey's going to get the ball. Buster Hunter was there on the tackle. Colton Turner.
Number 51, DeJuan Robinson.
So it's going to be third down and short now. Third and a yard. They say Trey got back to the line of scrimmage. We got 1 minute left in the third. Well, Trey's back there by himself. He's going to take the snap, and I would say Trey's probably going to keep it here.
Probably so.
He
Straight
goes up the
the-
middle. He's got the first
First down.
down. He's inside the 10. They're trying to pull him backwards. They finally do.
The snap goes
But he's got the
directly to
first
Trey
down.
Adams.
Colton Turner had him around the waist trying to pull him backwards.
He's wrapped up
Then
by
it took a little
Colton
help
Turner.
from his buddies. So first
Brought
down
to
and
the
goal for the
10-yard
Bruins.
line.
30 seconds to
First
go in
and
the
goal,
third
Bruins.
quarter. We don't know how much time's on the play clock, but they're going to run to the play just to be safe. First and goal for the Bruins at the 9-yard line. They're looking to the sidelines. Maybe they're just going to test this out and see if there's going to be a penalty. 14 seconds to play, 13, 12. Wise looks over to the sidelines, and Coach Kelly's saying, no, let's just finish this quarter off.
Okay.
And that's exactly what they'll do. 2 seconds, 1. That's the end of 3.
That brings us to the
We will take a break after 3. Our score, Pulaski Academy 48, J.A. Fire 6. You're listening to Bruin. Again to Rick DeVete for joining us at halftime for the Bruins halftime show powered by Capital Business Machines. Appreciate all of our sponsors along with Capital Business Machines, Bale Chevrolet, Central Arkansas Urgent Care, James Law Firm, Ortho Surgeons, Bowen and Heffley, Palisades at Chenal Valley, and Ridge at Chenal Valley. So if those people didn't help us out, we wouldn't be here.
No,
So,
that's true. It sure wouldn't. But like I
Well-
say, our special thanks do go out to them for,
yeah,
for
no
being
doubt
our
about
sponsors.
it. No doubt about it. Go by and tell them thanks, because I know it's important to a lot of you out there. Not that Brooks and I are here, but it's important to you that you get to hear the ball game. And I know there are a lot of grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, everybody else that
Yeah, there's a
like to stay
lot
in
of
touch.
folks
So
that
we
follow the
couldn't do it
Bruins.
without these sponsors. So
Yeah.
tell them thank you. Here's Wise on a handoff, running to the right, down to the 5-yard line. That who was that?
I believe that was Hudson Henry, maybe.
Huh.
Number 84.
Number
yes.
88, Jack Polk.
88. All right. That was Jack Polk. He's
Jack
a
Polk,
sophomore.
okay.
88,
88, okay.
He ran it down to the 5-yard line. Jack Polk did. So second and goal from the 5. We are inside the fourth quarter now. Bruins in command 48-6. Sportsmanship rule in effect. Wise looks to the sidelines and they're signaling a play into him. They're using every bit of this clock, wherever the clock might be, because it's not working on the field right now. So they're kind of waiting around like they're waiting on a flag. Maybe they're waiting to see if the officials are actually. Oh, they're going to hurry to the
finally
line
got it.
now. Here we go. Wise at quarterback. High snap, gives it to Adams, and the defender was there the same time at the time Adams was.
That was number 10 for the.
Derek Lloyd. He came flashing through and made the tackle in the backfield at about the 8-yard line.
Lloyd.
I don't think anybody even touched him.
He got there. It was a little bit of a high snap.
Yeah, it
By the
was.
time Wise brought it down and tried to give it to Adams, he was hit. So third and goal from the 8-yard line. So third down, Wise shotgun, gives it to Adams. He's hit again. They're not fooling anybody with that. They know they're just going to hand it off to Adams. He's going to lose a couple more. It's going to be fourth down. Derek Lloyd again. Derek Lloyd's a sophomore.
I think he knows what the signals are over there,
He's
Jay.
getting a good start. I know that.
He certainly did.
Think if I was Trey Adams, I'd say, hey, anybody going to put a shoulder on this guy? Or-
Yeah.
Ball is spotted at the 10-yard line, fourth and goal.
Trey's doing good just to get a handle on the ball before he gets hit. Well, here we go, fourth and goal from beyond the 10. They're going to give it to Adams. He's going to be wrapped up again at about the 11. And Fair celebrating. They've stopped the Bruins.
By number 70, Kendrell Land.
Land was a freshman. He was on a tackle along with Kerpink Williams, who's a senior. So Fair will take over at the 12-yard line. They're on 12. 9:15 to play. Clock running. Bruins leading at 48-6. I don't know if Coach Wood did he come to the press box tonight? He's down the sideline now. So
I don't think he did.
Maybe he just figured he would call his defensive signals from the sideline tonight.
Right.
Normally, we can hear him stomp a couple times when he starts getting a little bit aggravated.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Fair at their own 12. Gilmore at quarterback. Low snap. This one's on the ground. There's a rugby scrum for it. At about the 10-yard line. We'll have to wait and see. It looks Bruins have it.
Looked like the Bruins
at the 10-yard line.
got it.
Well, it looked like that time Gilmore never got a handle on it. When he tried to reach for it, it bounced forward back toward the line of scrimmage. And then everybody went after it. And the Bruins have it at the 10-yard line. Leading at 48-6. So after the defense stops the Bruins get the ball right back on the turnover.
Looks like another 1st and goal, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's close to it if it's not. Yeah, they're going to say it is. Knows the football's right at the 10-yard line, so 1st and goal. Either that or the other lineman, marker, just decided to throw his stick down one there. Maybe he's had it.
Looked like he might have.
Here we go. Adams gets the snap this time, and there they are. They're right on top of it again, right as soon as it snapped. Running back was hit. Kerpink Williams, who was that? 85. Nate Cumming got the handoff, and they got Nate as soon as he got the ball. So as soon as they hand the ball off, they're being hit.
On the carry.
Well, they're getting some high snaps from the center,
at the 14-yard
making it a
line,
little bit difficult for
2nd and
the
goal.
quarterback to handle the ball.
Down to 7 minutes now. Coach Kelly, he's wanting to see this clock tick too. That's a loss of 4. Trey gets it. Now flag comes in. Somebody moved too soon. But the good thing is the clock will keep running
Kelly flag on the play.
while they discuss the penalty.
I guess, Jay, you could probably have a penalty on every play, and the clock would just
There you go.
keep running. That's one way to end
Now
the
you're
ball.
thinking, buddy.
Hey.
Now you're thinking. This is going to go against Fair. They jumped the gun this time. They may have been jumping it a few times as quickly as they're in the backfield. It's going to move it down to about the 9-yard line. 2nd goal from the 9. 6:30 to go.
Offsides against the
Adams
Warriors.
is back there in a shotgun.
2nd and goal.
Has coming off to his right. He's going to hand off to him. And no, Adams going to keep it, but they're back there with him. Back to the 15-yard line.
Adams carries on the play.
So, loss of 6.
Number 10 again was in Derek Lloyd in the backfield again. They had
Derek Lloyd.
the halfback tackle. I thought he had the ball, but Trey got the ball and ran right in.
15-yard line.
Yeah, they're trying
3rd and
to
goal.
grind this clock out also. 6 minutes now. 48-6, Bruins leading it. Ball is spotted at the 15 now after, well, these running plays have got them nowhere. Here we go again. Adams saying, don't snap it to me, man. They're hitting me every time they get it. They snap it to him. This time a quick pitch out to the left is going to be caught, but not much yardage out there at all.
Pass is complete to number
That was
85,
coming out of the backfield. Deontay Clark was there and made the tackle. Another loss on the play.
Deontay Clark.
They're going the wrong direction here.
Yeah, they have been for a little while. It's 4th down now. The ball's at the 20. But the good news is the Bruins are leading at 48-6, and we've got 5 minutes to go. And these guys are getting a lot of experience out here too. They're getting to play in some ball games. It's going to pay off sooner or later.
Yep, sure will.
Adams at quarterback gets a snap. This time he's going to throw with the middle. Has a man open at the 10-yard line, at the 5-yard line, down to the 3-yard line. But that was a 4th down play. And came up 3 yards short.
Pass is complete to number 84, Hudson Henry.
That was Hudson Henry. Nearly had a touchdown.
Almost.
So the offense will come off the field. Defense will come out. 4.5 to
At the
go.
4-yard line, the ball will turn over on downs and bring up 1st and 10 War Eagles.
Ball is just inside the 4-yard line, and that's where Fair will take over at their own 4. Bruins trying to finish this thing off now in the 4th quarter. 4:20 to go, leading at 48-6. Did all the scoring in practically the first quarter. It was 48-6 at halftime. Or was it 4? Yeah, it was 48-6.
Right. But you're right. Most of the scoring was in the first quarter.
Yeah, the Bruins were scoring every time they had the football and really put it away then. Here's a handoff and a hole up the middle to 10, the 15. Out to the 20. Look out to the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. The Bruins are all around him, and they finally tackle him at the 38-yard line. That's Brazel again.
Brazel, dazzle, Brazel.
Makes his way to the Bruin 38-yard line.
He's a junior. He's 5'6", 140.
War Eagles.
Down to the Bruin 38, 3:30 to go. Now, Chris Amsler's been calling him Razzle, Dazzle, Brazzle, and now he's got the crowd chanting on the near side.
He just got him a new name tonight, didn't he?
1st and 10 to 38.
Oh, it's not new, I understand.
Here's a handoff running left at the 35. Fumble on the play. The Bruins are all around it. Let's see. They have it at the 26-yard line. Coming up with it was number 21, Brendan Halpin. He's a sophomore. Looks like there's a flag on the play, though, at the 30-yard line. And there's also a War Eagle down. That's Derek Lloyd.
Number 21, Brendan Halpin.
So they're going to stop the clock here. He's still rolling around on the field, so they're trying to check to see what it is.
For injury.
Well, there is an injury, so we'll take a quick timeout. Have a player down the field. Take a Central Arkansas urgent care injury timeout. Be right back with you, Bruce. Well, the officials waved off the flag, and the Bruins do have the football after the recovered fumble at the 26-yard line. Trey Adams still in at quarterback. This senior's going to be tired after this game. Waiting for the snap. Has it. Quick pitch out to the left to a running back. Cuts the corner at the 25, the 30. Out to the 35-yard line. That's Nate Cumming. He's a sophomore, 5'7", 140. And that time Nate picks up about 8.5, close to 9. 2 minutes to go, 2:15 to go in this ball game. All Bruins. They put it away early, and they lead it 48-6. Ball's at the 35-yard line. On second down, about 1.5 yards. Adams has it. He's going to hand it off, and the ball's on the ground. It's a fumble, and looked like that time Fair got it.
Adams carries on the play. There's a fumble
did,
on the play.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Right about the 35-yard line, just beyond the 35. That's a turnover, and Fair will take over. Clock running, though, with 1:25 to go.
1st and 10 War Eagles.
So things getting a little bit sloppy here in the second half.
Definitely, but anyway, that, how often
That's
does Trey play
expected.
quarterback?
Yeah, that's expected.
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's been hit about every time he's caught the snap, too. So.
Uh-huh.
1st and 10 Fair, moving from our right to our left. They're at their 36-yard line. Stayed with the same quarterback tonight, Gilmore, Akeem Gilmore. He's got Lloyd in there with him. Blocking. Gilmore's in trouble. He gets away from one defender. Throws. It's going to be caught at the 30. At the 25, the 20, down to the 15, down to about the 12-yard line. That's Kalik Brazel again.
Mr. Razzle Dazzle Basil.
And they're going to have to hurry if they're going to try to score because we're down to 25 seconds.
At the 12-yard line, first and 10.
They're going to call timeout.
Timeout.
Yeah, they're going to use a timeout. Down 48-6 with 21 seconds to go.
I think Mr. Brazel's got a little cramp.
Well, I'm surprised.
He shouldn't. He has really worked hard tonight, I'll tell
Been
you.
all over the place,
He
yeah.
sure has.
Well, we'll take a timeout with them. Well, they have about 21 seconds to go. We'll take a timeout. Our score, Pulaski Academy 48, Fair 6. You're listening to Bruce. Here's a fumbled snap, and fumble snap is finally picked up in the backfield by Lloyd, but the Bruins are on him, and
recovered by number 10, Derek Lloyd.
it's going to be a loss of about 5. Will Shelton on the tackle, and they call another timeout with 13 seconds to go. 48-6, and they're going to call another timeout. Ball is at the 17-yard line.
They're just wanting to see if they can get another score on the Bruins, and, you know, timeouts don't do any good if you don't take them. You can't keep them. Store them up for the next ball game.
Well,
I think they're going to try.
They're going to send a kicker on.
Going to try a field
That's
goal.
Rivera. Jose Rivera is going to try to put 3 more on the board. This will be a 33-yarder. It'll be teed up at the 23. That's where they'll put it down at. It's a 23. On the left hash. And here we go. Snap is good. The kick is up. He's got plenty of distance, but it's off the left. No good.
Didn't miss by much, though, Jay.
Now, he had the distance on it.
He sure did.
He just pulled it a little bit.
Yep.
So we got, and that's it. They're going to let the clock run out. That'll do it. Well, we'll take a break, and Brooks and I will talk this one over when we get back. Our final score, Pulaski Academy 48, Fair 6. You're listening to Bruin Football, 96.5 FM, The Answer.
And please drive home safely. Good night, everyone.